Great. Dear partners, dear speakers, dear visitors of our virtual fair, you are very welcome to join the largest international community of Erasmus Plus, created under the support of the European Union. I'm Svetlana Shitikova, National Erasmus Plus Ukraine Office Coordinator, together with Vart Lukasan, who is Neo-Armenia Program Officer, hosting the session today devoted to the political, social, and economic science. During this session, you will be inspired by three prominent capacity building projects, the results achieved in this field by the fantastic international project teams of universities and other stakeholders. The key expected takeaway, as we see it, are by the exchanging of the experience for further active use of the results to motivate you for the future ideas and new cooperation with the new calls for proposals to be opened sooner in November. And you heard today the details. A few technical recommendations before we go to the speakers. That you have your individual settings, which are important and helpful for you to feel comfortable. Like in the bottom of the screen, you see the captures, which provide you the opportunity to see the subtitles in English language. Another one is the right top corner. You could make your full screen to have larger screen to see slides and the speakers better. Please use your question and answer chart to write your questions, and we will have voting opportunity. That's to invite these voted questions to the podium and to ask the question to the speakers. If any questions remain unanswered, we encourage you to visit our 20 private appointments or visit the next events today and web pages of the projects to address them to the contacts. We would appreciate if the mics will be muted and while you're not speaking. And now it's a high time to welcome our project teams, and you will get into some insights of the projects. Consequently, meet the team from the EU-funded Erasmus Plus program projects with sound acronyms Morale, Destin, and Refine.
Dear colleague, could you please unmute your microphone?
Hello, everyone. It is me, Dr. Sulaiman Musalli from Arab International University, and Dr. Subhi Abu Shaheen, my colleague and coordinator of the project from Beirut Arab University. We represent our colleagues and present the project Morale. Dr. Subhi, the floor is yours. Please go on and present the project. Dr. Subhi. Dr. Subhi, please unmute your.
Suleiman, if we receive some technical issues with Dr. Subhi, maybe you start talking and then Dr. Subhi will join us. Thank you.
Yes, okay. So Morale is a project that is concerned with NGOs and how the curricula regarding NGOs can be developed in Syria and Lebanon. So the name is the acronym of the name of the project. The Syrian crisis and has left unprecedented inflow of refugees and displaced people inside Syria and goes to Lebanon and other neighboring countries. Around 6.8 million refugees and about 6.7 displaced people are in the region. This raised the issue and the importance of Morale as a project that respond to this crisis in the region. of course, a lot of pressure has in the government, and NGOs is the third sector that contribute and fill the gap in this crisis, and they contribute to solve this problem, at least to release the difficult situation of the people in this area. But unfortunately, many studies found that they are suffering, and they lack the adequate skills to respond to this crisis. So NGOs Morale comes to address this issue and raise the capacity of NGOs, and provide the courses, training courses, and the enhancing the curricula in order to address and to respond to this crisis. Next slide, please, Dr. Subhi. So the partners of this project consist of course, European countries and Lebanese and Syrian partners. The good thing about the partners is that they compromise NGOs from Syria, an NGO from Syria, a university that itself is an NGO, one of the major universities of Syria, Damascus University, two private universities, in addition to the governmental university, which was spread in Lebanon, Lebanese University, and two other universities, in addition to the European partners that consist also from one of the NGOs that deal with refugees from Syria during the crisis, in addition to the University of Alicante, Oldenburg, and the Bologna University, very famous and has many courses that respond to NGO crisis. Next slide, please. What are the achieved results regarding morale? In fact, the first stage of the morale project aims to understand the offering and the courses available at the partner university, the European universities, in order to acquire the knowledge on how they respond, and how they address the needs of the NGOs in the European countries, and transfer this knowledge to the Syrian and Lebanese partners. The first visit was, in fact, face-to-face. It was to Bologna University, but the other visits were virtual, one to the Alicante University and one to Oldenburg, and the third was to 4 Element, the NGO in Greece. Next, please. Regarding the second work package was to deal with the understanding the real situation, the status quo of the NGOs, and the current status of the curricula that is related to NGOs. In fact, we have surveyed the NGOs, academics, students and alumni at the universities, the partner universities, in order to understand how do they feel about the curricula and the training courses offering at these universities. And the outcome of this stage was to come with what are the most important training courses, curricula that needs to be improved, in order to include this in the second stage, which is the training of trainers and developing the lifelong learning courses. Next, please, Dr. Subhi. In fact, as I mentioned, we had 4 training of trainers sessions, one at the University of Bologna, which all of these, in fact, were virtual due to the crisis, the COVID problem, and many academics and NGOs attend this training. In fact, the number was declining, maybe because of they were not used to this virtual mode of training. Started from 74 participants, declined to 26 participants. Next, please, Dr. Subhi. Now, regarding the achieved result is they are first of all advancing or improving the curricula offering. 6 subjects for 7 bachelor programs were developed. Also 3 lifelong learning courses per participant, i.e. 7 participants multiplied by 3, it is 21 courses are under the developing process. Also, the main cover topics were regarding the NGO management, NGO fundraising, marketing strategies, of course, business ethics, emotional intelligence, etc. of these courses. The second stage, after we understand the needs of these NGOs and academics, students and alumni, we went to present the result of these in-depth analysis in roundtables in Syria and Lebanon. In fact, the first roundtable in Syria was in Damascus University, and it was face to face. About 40 participants from NGOs and academics met together for the first time, and they discuss the needs, and they agree on a roadmap in order to offer these courses which are offered now. And there was also a virtual meeting in Lebanon, roundtable meeting in Lebanon, in order to do the same thing and inform the NGO participant in Lebanon of these issues. Next, please, Dr. Subhi. This is the website of the Morale project. It has all the information regarding the project, work packages, etc. So interested of this project can go and visit the website. Also, we have the Facebook that contains all the information, updates about the offering, and it has all the news regarding what is coming on the courses and the training. So people are well aware of the dates beforehand, and they can prepare themselves to go and attend the training sessions. Next, please, Dr. Subhi. And we have the dissemination that has been done in Arabic language as well, because not all NGOs in Syria are good in English. So we translated the leaflets, the newsletters, the brochure, and we had the news also in the newspapers, the main newspapers, about the activities that we are doing in order to have the maximum engagement of the NGOs and the society in the project. Next, please. Yes. Now, regarding the impact and sustainability issues of morale, the impact of morale is or has been seen as very large. This will be taking place through the participation of NGOs in the focus group meetings, the transfer of the EU expertise, the training that will be taking places, the lifelong learning courses that will be developed and delivered to NGOs, the new teaching methodologies that are adopted, and teachers and lecturers are now trained on them, so they can make the most of the knowledge they transfer to the participants. Of course, the social inclusion is very important, because refugees now needs are addressed, and the cooperation is re-established between NGOs and higher education. The offering of these courses and programs in the universities is itself an insurance for their sustainability. Of course, we had faced some problems. The main problem was the COVID challenge, that we cannot run the courses face to face. So, as I mentioned, the number of participants declined because of this mood. Of course, we had a contingency plan to offer these courses and training virtually, but still, people prefer the face to face on virtual training. And the electricity cuts and internet quality is poor as well, Syria and Lebanon, so this harmed the virtual training, as I mentioned. Next, Dr. Subhi. So thank you very much for listening to me. This is a picture of the brochure of the project, and we had all these hands together in the hope for the successful project. Merci beaucoup, and thanks for your interest and listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Suleiman and Sobhi, for the presentation of the results of your projects. And we are now coming to the other project, Destin. You're welcome, the team. Please stop sharing the screen, Dr. Sobhi. Great, thank you.
Dear colleagues, it's an honor to be here with you today. Thank you to organizers for this amazing opportunity. Thank you for having me. My name is Bogdana Nosova. I'm from Ukraine. I'm associate professor at Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv, and my colleague Katerina Sirenyok-Dolgareva. She is associate professor at Zaporizhia National University, and we are going to be speaking to you today about Destin project. To begin, this project is important because it improves journalism and media training in Ukraine. Destin stands for Journalism Education for Democracy in Ukraine, Developing Standards, Integrity and Professionalism. This is the 3-year project that has been extended until the August 2022 because of pandemic COVID-19. Destin led by BASPA University from UK. All necessary information, useful and helpful materials and documentation, all our story and experience, you can find at our official webpage, www.destin-project.info. Key project results are presented on Destin Project Watch and Destin Materials sections at this internet page. As the project continues, our web page is filled with new information on our results, as well as our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. This project brought together 20 European institutions, including 10 Ukrainian universities, geographically from all over Ukraine, governmental and non-governmental organizations of Ukraine, as well as universities and non-governmental organizations from the United Kingdom, Austria, Ireland, the Netherlands, Poland, and Sweden. We are a strong and experienced team representing professionals in journalism training and media practice from all over Europe. Links and longevity are vital. So we took all best practices from our previous projects supported by the European Union as Tempus Align and Erasmus Plus KA1, and 6 partners went on to work on Destin. Now I'd like you to see our short video of Destin conference that has been held at Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv. And on this video is Professor Paul Hyland from BASPA University, who was our first project coordinator.
I hope at the completion of our project, we have supported and developed bachelor's and master's programs in 10 Ukrainian universities, so that we are confident that these are as good as anywhere that we can find in the European Union. We also want to try to encourage the wider public to understand the importance of journalism in a democracy. So we're also developing little courses, supporting materials and resources for schools and other people to help children and adults understand how we should not be doing hate speech, how to recognize fake news.
The project aims to improve and develop Ukrainian journalism education, review and reform curricula, current bachelor and master curricula and program by raising the quality to the EU standards, improving students' employability and international mobility, and of course, promoting media literacy in the society. Now, with a great pleasure, I give the floor to my destined colleague, Katerina Serenyuk-Dolgareva. Katerina?
Thank you, Bogdana. And yes, thank you for this. I want to open my screen now. Okay. Okay, can you see my presentation?
Everything works perfectly.
Great. So I'm sorry. I will go to this slide with achievements. So Destin has reached the final year of implementation, and the team has fulfilled certain results. Among main project's achievements is updating of 20 bachelor's and master's program in journalism. The programs has been peer-reviewed by the European experts and piloted in all 10 Ukrainian universities. This is truly a result of mutual efforts and cooperation of Ukrainian and European colleagues, since a lot of work preceded the curricula design. We had study trips to Baspa University in UK, Linnaeus University and Foyo Institute in Sweden, and Adam Mickiewicz University in Poland. There were several conferences and seminars in Kiev, Zaporizhia, and a lot of online visits and consultations. The curricular development was the first and important achievement that led to joint production of the policy document, national guidelines for developing and running BA and MA journalism programs in Ukraine. All journalism schools will be able to use this document for the benchmark analysis and self-assessment by curricular development teams in Ukrainian universities during accreditation processes. The higher education accreditation system is currently under reform in Ukraine, and we believe that this national guidelines developed by Destin team will be of a great help for journalism faculty to prepare and implement processes for quality assurance in their institutions. Among other valuable results of Destin project, we consider wide connection and strong ties with different stakeholders, from employers to wide public. This direction of Destin work encompasses massive dissemination through various mass media and social media. And one of the ways to do that are Destin Open Days that we held in all Ukrainian partner universities. Especially importantly, Destin will contribute to developing of Ukraine's civil society by enhancing the level of citizens' media literacy. For this purpose, the team developed and started piloting a number of outreach media literacy courses and plan to run 20 of them on online platform in 2022. And now I propose you to see a little video from one of the open days, Destin Open Days in Ukraine. We also had the obstacle of these COVID restrictions, but we were lucky to have all these Destin Open Days held in the universities in both in face-to-face and online formats. Sorry. So, as I said, Destin reached the final year of implementation, and we are planning some more events in 2022, among which will be final conference in May in Lviv, Ukraine, where all project work packages will present their results. And however, we believe that the project end will be in fact only beginning of journalism reform in Ukraine. Journalism schools already agreed to establish National Journalism Teachers Forum as a professional association in our country, and European Journalism Training Association will accept us as members, which will be a huge step forward implementing and practicing European standards of higher education in Ukraine. Among other plans, we start preparing dual degrees programs between Ukrainian and EU universities, continue media literacy courses, preparing online programs, and strengthening ties with other project stakeholders for further cooperation and networking. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We will be happy to answer all questions if you have any. Okay.
Thank you very much indeed for the presentation and for the videos and inspiration also from the coordinator of the project. And now the time comes to the next project and the Refine team. The floor is yours. You are very welcome.
Well, thanks, first of all, for having us here. Can everybody already see the screen?
Everything is perfect.
Yes.
Excellent. That's very good. So my name is Johannes Wetzinger. I come from the University of Applied Sciences BFI Vienna in Austria, and I'm also joined today by my colleague Arpine Sragatspanyan of the Armenian State University of Economics. And together we are going to present to you the Refine project, which we had the pleasure to implement throughout the last 3 years. I worked as a project coordinator on Refine, and Arpina was in charge of the work package on dissemination and exploitation activities. What is our presentation looking like? I'm starting with a very brief overview so that you know what you can expect from the upcoming presentation. First, we will introduce you to some key facts about the project. Second, we will introduce you to the key objectives and also the project design of Refine. And then building on that, we will introduce to you in more detail some of the key results and outcomes of our work. And finally, we will close with some conclusions and also recommendations for the implementation of capacity building in higher education projects based on our own experiences with Refine. So let's first have a look at some of the key facts. The full title of the project was Reforming Master Programs in Finance in Armenia and Moldova, abbreviated as Refine. And it was a 3-year project that we ran basically from October 2017 to October 2020. Like all the other projects that are presented here today in this conference, with an Erasmus Plus Capacity Building in Higher Education project, and we had an earmarked budget of roughly 600,000 euros. Now, who was involved in this particular project? You can see here an overview of the higher education institutions that were part of the Refine project consortium. They can be grouped in 3 different groups. We had 4 partner universities from the European Union, 3 partner universities from Armenia, and 3 partner universities from Moldova. Let's first have a brief look at the institutions in the European Union. There's the University of Applied Sciences BFI Vienna, my home institution. Besides that, we were cooperating with the Technical University of Košice from Slovakia, the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences from the Netherlands, and the University Côte d'Azur from France. I will not speak about the individual roles and responsibilities, but what you can already see here is that we try to integrate different types of universities. So we had comprehensive traditional research universities, we had universities of applied sciences, and also technical universities. As for our partners in Armenia and Moldova, we were working with the Armenian State University of Economics that is represented by Arpina today. Also, we work closely cooperating with the Russian Armenian University and the Gavar State University. In Moldova, our partners were the Academy of Economic Studies of Moldova, the Moldova State University, and Comrade State University. Again, a few comments about our rationale of choosing project partners. All those 6 institutions in Armenia and Moldova run master programs in finance. In fact, they were the only institutions at the time of the Refine project implementation that actually offered master programs in finance. So that means we really had a comprehensive coverage of the sector that is relevant for us. And at the same time, we also had a mixture of universities being located in the capitals, Yerevan and Chisinau, but also in the regions. Besides that, there is one final aspect regarding our consortium that I want to highlight, and that is the involvement of associated partners from the financial sectors in both Armenia and Moldova. So just to give you an example, we were working with the National Bank of Moldova, with the Armenian stock exchange, different kinds of banks, consultancy companies in the financial sector, etc. So you can already see here that the linkages with the labor markets were an important theme for the Refine project. Now, next, let's have a brief look at the objectives of the project. And the overall aim of Refine was to further develop 6 existing master programs in finance in Armenia and Moldova. And we looked here specifically at 4 kind of main dimensions. The first aspect was the reform of master curricula. The second aspect concerns the development of teaching material. The third one, the training of teaching staff. And finally, as a cross-cutting theme for the entire project, the labor market relevance, something that I guess doesn't come as a big surprise to you after the introduction to the consortium and the role of associated partners from the financial sector that I've just mentioned to you earlier on. So let's next have a brief look at the project design and how we actually set up our project in order to meet these objectives. In a nutshell, you can see that Refine was structured along 4 major phases, each of them being linked to specific work packages. The first phase was in essence a review phase where we studied in detail the existing master programs and developed concrete guidelines for the reform, so for the next steps to be taken. In the second phase, we worked specifically on the reform of the individual curricula of all the 6 master programs. And then in phase number 3, we went already deeper into the individual programs, developing course materials and also holding a series of teacher trainings in didactics, current topics in finance and other fields. And then the phase number 4 finally was the actual implementation phase. So during the project lifetime, the master programs were already started. And we also focused specifically on the sustainability promotion to make sure that those developed programs will also continue to be implemented after the project end. All those 4 phases were accompanied by quality assurance mechanisms, but also very importantly, by ongoing dissemination and exploitation activities to make sure that stakeholders also beyond our consortium can gain access to the materials that we develop, to the experiences that we have made, etc. And last but not least, all those phases and work packages were bound together by ongoing project management and coordination. So now, after this brief overview, I will hand over to my colleague Arpina, who will introduce to you some more results that we have actually achieved in these 3 years of working together.
Thank you, Johannes. So yeah, now let's have a look on what results the Refine project has achieved based on the objectives and design introduced by my colleague and how. So during the first stage of the project, the reform of the master programs in 6 partner country universities have been implemented in the following way. After conducting several meetings, surveys, and researches, we have designed reform guidelines and updated the curricula of 6 master programs based on them. And to bring those curricula into life, trainings for 48 teachers have been organized where they updated their teaching materials, teaching method, didactics, and this was indeed implemented with the guidance of our program country representatives. Also, here it is worthy to mention that the updated courses were supported by the new professional literature purchased by our partner country representatives as equipment for the project. And the aim of this was to support the studies of the students, to enable them being closer to the modern literature. By the way, all these guidelines and curricula are available on our project's website, so you may also check them. So after we had everything ready and updated, we launched the implementation of the programs starting from winter term 2019. And for the first intake, we have enrolled 109 students, and for the second one, 110 students. And what was very important for us during the implementation stage of the project was the support and involvement of the industry representatives in our project. For example, we had guest lectures for our students provided by the labor market representatives, who were mainly our associated partners. Also, we have organized career guidance events for our students to empower them with information, with knowledge on how to build a successful career in the financial sector of Armenia and Moldova. And of course, it is very important. The preparation and implementation stages of the project are very important to conduct successfully. But you should always remember that the final success of the project is complete when it has a large outreach and sustainability in long run. So to disseminate the project's outcomes and results as wide as possible, our consortium has implemented intensive dissemination both in online and offline platforms. We have organized 4 local workshops, 2 final conferences, and to ensure the sustainability of the project, which is also very, very important, we have developed sustainability strategies for the 6 partner country universities and signed 31 follow-up cooperation agreements for the universities and as well as with lots of industry representatives. In the next slide, we'd like to show you what impact these actions had, how they influence the project beneficiaries and partners. And first of all, we may say that they promoted and increased alignment of master programs with local requirements and international developments, of course. Also, as I just described, we founded closer ties between our universities and industry representatives to make our students highly demanded in the labor market. Also, during the 3 years of collaboration, we managed to intensify the cooperation at national level, to sign cooperation agreements, to be involved in different kinds of projects, which led to sustainable cooperation at the European level as well. And in addition, it was obviously followed by intercultural exchange and mutual learning between project partners. So summing up, may I please ask the next slide? Summing up, we can note that the Refine project was implemented very successfully, and we have very positive feedback from our stakeholders. And to reach these in your cases, in your projects as well, we would recommend you to firstly ensure effective personal contacts and very productive working atmosphere in your consortium. And we may also note that the objectives of the project were achieved despite several challenges, for example, COVID-19 and restrictions connected with it, or demographic developments, and so on. And here we'd like to share some success factors that helped our consortium to overcome these challenges. And one of the most important thing was the careful application preparation. So while developing your project application, you should organize meetings with your partners, do a needs analysis, a detailed planning, and so on. You should ensure ongoing and open communication and institutional and individual commitment in your project. Involve all relevant stakeholders, and of course, ensure a exchange with national Erasmus Plus offices where available and where applicable. So while preparing or implementing a project, please take into account all these factors to succeed in the future. And if you wish to know more about a Refine project, you may visit our own official website by this link, or just contact us by the contact detailed presented in this slide. And that's all. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Arpine. Thank you, Johannes, and thank you, all colleagues. I would like to remind our colleagues who are listening to this session, dear attendees, so you are more than welcome to give your questions in the question and answer section, or you can also raise your hands and we will be able to give you the floor to communicate with the speakers as well. But before we have questions from the auditorium, I have a question to one of the projects, Morales. So could you please describe what were the most exciting results of your students? If you could share your ideas on this topic.
In fact, we haven't yet offered the courses to the students because we are still in the preparation stage of offering these. There was a delay of 1 year. One semester. There is a delay almost 1 year before the project started. So we finished preparing and modernizing the curricula, but not yet offering them to students.
Excuse me, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Thank you. Finally, thank you, Dr. Suleiman, for presenting the project. Yes, as Dr. Suleiman said, for Morale project, the most important thing that the needs analysis confirmed the objectives of the project. At the same time, we from the needs analysis we obtained the recommendation regarding the the courses to be enhanced for the lifelong learning, for updating the curricula, and at the same time for the lifelong learning courses. So we are building that and in progress. Next year, we will start to implement the results of the project.
Okay, thank you so much.
And at the same time, I will add 2 things for the Morale project, since I have a problem with the audio. Regarding the impact, really as coordinator of the project, I obtained a huge experience in coordinating Erasmus Plus project. This is a real impact for me, as well as for my institution, Beirut Arab University. At the same time, I want to add also another thing regarding the obstacles that we faced in Morale project. We have a huge obstacle. In addition to the obstacle of the COVID-19, we have the finance obstacle in Lebanon, because we received the money as coordinator before the crisis in Lebanon in October 2019, and until now, the money is blocked in the bank due to the Lebanese crisis. But even though we are trying to solve the problems, of course, with the help of our project officer in Brussels, Mr. Clivio Ghazali, and the National Erasmus officer in Lebanon, Dr. Arif Al-Soufi. So we are doing our best to have best results, although all of these difficulties in Lebanon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. We do hope you will overcome all the challenges and will manage to continue and provide the sustainability of the project. So my next question goes to our colleague from Refine Project. What are you proud of the most if you look back to the achieved results? And could you please speak about the sustainability of the results, how you are going to ensure the sustainability? Thank you.
Yes, sure. So regarding the things that we are most proud of, I think, well, of course, we are very happy that we managed to implement the project as planned. So that means we had a very sound foundation already when submitting the application. We also invested a lot in the actual preparation. So that's, of course, something that is very nice to have. But what I think is even more important, that the consortium really grew together very, very closely throughout those 3 years, and that we really had a very, very productive working atmosphere, and really close friendships and relations emerged out of the project. And we also saw that the local stakeholders were really very interested in the project. So we have received very positive feedback from all sides. And I think it's nice to see that what you are doing is creating value for somebody. Regarding the sustainability, well, there is a lot of things going on. All the partners basically signed some kind of follow-up cooperation agreements. There are also intense cooperations that have been established with local labor market representatives. There have been some new projects that emerged. So, for instance, with the Armenian State University of Economics, we're currently implementing another project in Erasmus Plus Chamonix activities. We also have implemented with the Armenian and Moldovan partners a Erasmus Plus K107 project on lecture mobility. So a lot of positive things are happening, and I'm really happy to see that as a coordinator. But maybe also Arpina would like to share some of her thoughts and her perspectives on that.
Thank you, Johannes. Yes, I would like to share also that to ensure the sustainability of our project and the updated master courses at our universities, we are implementing ongoing quality assurance activities of the courses. We try to keep the program and the resources needed to support this program up to date. And of course, we are ensuring the ongoing dissemination to spread the word about our program and to enroll more students in our master programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpine and Johannes. And my next question goes to Project Destin. How do you ensure the strong cooperation with the employees' organization, and what was their or how they influenced on the quality or the outcomes?
Or maybe I start. Thank you for this question. So we do have a strong connection with our employers, and to ensure that we have a partner from the employer's side as a partner in our consortium. The Thematic Radio means public radio, one of the national broadcaster in Ukraine, and their representatives were among peer review groups in all 10 universities in Ukraine where we piloted programs. And on local level, each university also established different associations or advisory boards with their employers in their cities. And a lot of different consultations, advising sessions were held on the level of the universities with their local employers. And now we continue working with them, and we have these questionnaires about the impact of our project and the consultations again on the systematic level with our stakeholders among employers. Each university continue have surveys and meetings with their stakeholders. Maybe Bogdana will add anything.
Thank you so much, Katerina. It's also worth to add that we have all the time this consultation with our stakeholders in all Ukrainian level and in local levels, because geographically our project cover all Ukraine, so we have very strong connections with our stakeholders, with private and public broadcasters in Ukraine, and we have all this consultation that helps our project move on and helps us to improve our journalism training and journalism education in Ukraine. Thank you for this question.
Thank you, Bogdana and Katerina. Yes, Svetlana?
Thanks a lot for the presentations and the questions and the answers. And thank you also that Professor Sobdi responded in the chat. And I have one small question maybe to all projects about the experience of working with the quality assurance. How do you ensure the quality of the results, and who were the main stakeholders involved into this process? Just maybe a few words.
Okay.
Let's start with Bogdana.
Can I start?
Okay.
With Moral
Yes,
project?
welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
In Moral project, we have, of course, a quality work package in which we have developed a quality plan, and we ensure the quality of the project implementation after each event. And we developed also, before the intermediate report, a quality intermediate report, and at the same time we have a external quality expert. So the external quality expert assessed also all the works and give us the recommendations and follow. We have daily, and not daily, continuous follow-up of the project to have a proper implementation of all activities through internal quality assurance activities as well as with the external expert.
Great, thanks a lot, Dr. Saphi. How about Bogdana?
Thank you very much for this question. We planned actually when we planned our project, we planned this, of course, and the quality assurance is very important for us, and we have internal quality assurance. So we have inside of our project World University Service. It's an organization from Austria, and it's very helpful that we have all their expertise in all stage of the project. And beside of this, we invited to the project. We had a competition, and we invited independent competition. And after this competition, we invited the independent quality assurance for our project, and we had the results. And all this is very helpful to move on the project and to know all our challenges and to receive very professional advice how to overcome all these challenges. So, and it's all these steps are very successful to have a successful project in the end. Maybe Katerina would like to add anything.
Well, main points you already said, Bogdana, and I just want to add that each university established own internal quality assurance system that we monitor after each course, each semester. We monitor the quality of education. We survey our students, and that is on the ongoing basis right now, because we implement the updated programs in our universities.
Great, thanks a lot. And Johannes or Pina?
Well, in our case, I think we can also agree with what has been said, that in general, the quality assurance plays a very important role in such kinds of projects. We had basically two key bodies dealing with quality assurance mechanisms. So we had, on the one hand, an internal quality assurance group within the university, within the consortium, sorry, which was combined of experts from all partner universities, and they were evaluating deliverables, all kinds of results that we were producing throughout the project. And then we also had an external quality assurance and advisory board comprised of experts in finance and also in curriculum development and so on, who had a look at things from an external perspective. And we were really very, very happy with them because they really engaged with the project. Everybody who is working a lot in this field knows this, that sometimes it's really difficult to get people who take a lot of effort in reviewing things and really providing very detailed and constructive feedback. So we were really lucky in this regard, and I think it helped us a lot to really ensure the highest possible quality of the project results. And then besides that, of course, all the partner universities have specific quality assurance mechanisms in place based on their institutional and also national regulations. Arpine, would you want to add something on that?
Thank you, Johannes. Actually, you covered all, I think, but I may add that besides these two important quality assurance groups, we also have implemented interviews and some surveys, conducted some surveys with our students who were the main beneficiaries, the direct beneficiaries of our project, and the lecturers who were trained and updated their course materials and teaching methods. So we are continuing to be in close contact with them and review their courses and continue to improve our project and our master programs based on these feedback. Thank you.
Thank you, Arpine. Professor Wettinger, we have a question from Heba Saed. So it is internal quality staff were responsible of quality only or had other missions?
You're referring to the Quality Assurance Board, I assume. So the internal Quality Assurance Board was basically comprised of academic experts who were reviewing specific deliverables, but some of them, of course, also had some other roles. Maybe they participated in some kind of training or provided some other kind of input. What was important for us, and I should really stress that here, is that we always try to keep a strict separation, that what was produced by one university will not be assessed by representatives from that same university. So if there is a deliverable produced by University A, it might be assessed by colleagues from University B and C, who will provide some feedback. So we always try to separate that to make sure we really have an external feedback and not directly involve the people who actually developed the specific output.
Thank you so much. We have a comment from one of our colleagues, Alona Sezina. Dear colleagues, very interesting projects. I'm Alona Sezina, Dean of the Faculty of Foreign Languages at Francis Skorina Gomel State University, Belarus, looking for partners for further cooperation in different projects. So, and we have the email. I would encourage you to exchange with emails, and maybe further you will be joining in the frames of another CBHE project. As we heard today, the call is coming very soon. And now I'm delighted to give the floor to my colleague Svetlana. Svetlana, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much for our honorable and prominent speakers, and to my colleague Vart also for this amazing inspiration for the joining the family of capacity building projects in Erasmus Plus program. And we really look forward to the new opportunities and to welcome you next year already among the winners of capacity building projects and in other actions under Erasmus+. And we would like to thank you very much indeed, first of all, for the contribution of all the project teams to the development of the internationalization and modernization of higher education in our countries and making us more comprehensive to each other. That, as you know, that actually such projects not only develop the people-to-people contact, which is extremely valuable, but also provides the opportunity to support the educational, professional, personal development, institutional development, and contributing to the higher education quality enhancement in our countries and more understanding between our people and between our systems. And also, we'd like to conclude by saying that that's a great opportunity within Erasmus Plus and the support of the European Union to change the lives, to change the minds. And as you know, the new slogan of the program, it all starts here. And we all hope and pray that your new journey and new opportunities would start also from here, from this virtual conference, virtual exhibition and fair, and also to then lead you to further more journey on cooperation. Please take the opportunity of today's remaining sessions and also the individual appointment and make more new projects to change your country and to develop talents of your students. So thank you very much to all of you and hope to see you soon within new opportunities. Please follow the websites of all the program. The new calls are coming. Thanks a lot to all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.